thundering across the stars to save the universe from the monster minds. Jayce searches for his father to unite the magic root and lead his Lightning League to victory over the changing form of Sawboss. Wheeled warriors explode into battle. Lightning strikes.
There's a power that comes from deep inside of you. As every day you're reaching toward the light, and you know there's a long way ahead of you. But when your wheels get you there, things will turn out right.
Just keep on turning, don't stop rolling. The fire is on.
We're warriors.
Metal drums burning, wheels moving, wheels warriors. Come take a chance, keep on turning, don't stop rolling. The fire is on.
We're warriors.
Metal drums burning, wheels moving, wheels warriors.
Hello everybody and welcome back again. It's Tony from Masters of the 80s. Hope everyone's doing okay. We've got more cartoon goodness today from the library behind me here. Today we're going to have a look at a show that is one of my favourites. I can probably tell you that this show is in my top 5 of all-time favourite cartoons from the 80s. I think it was an underappreciated show in its time, especially in the UK. I don't know what it was like in the US, but this show was definitely underappreciated in the UK, and it didn't get the love that it deserved, really. And it is Jayce and the Wheeled Warriors. This is the complete series. I love this show. I loved everything about this show. The cartoon style, the animation style, the music, the characters. It just said a lot of things to me back in the day. And I think what it is with this as well, as there's being a bit of a sci-fi kid in the 80s, late 70s, all through the 80s. This show, some characters will rip off from other things that you could see, and we'll talk about that as we go through. But I think that's one of the things that stuck with me with it. First aired in 1985, ran till 1986. Another show that was 65 episodes long. These were a little bit shorter at the time. These were 22 minutes an episode. For me, this one, I fondly remember this one. This was a Sunday morning show that Channel 4 had. The Channel 4 didn't have many cartoons back in the day. They had a few, but this one always stood out. This was in a slot on a Sunday morning that was aired with shows like Pob, if you remember Pob. A bit annoying, but everyone remembers him. The live show of Black Beauty, Wurzel Gummidge. What was the other one that was on at this time? Oh, Sharky and George, the Fish Detectives. So if you was a kid like me, sort of around 85 on a Sunday morning, Channel 4, this was what was showing, and of what they were showing, this was by far the best, and it stood out a long way. And I can't believe that none of the bigger companies like the BBC or ITV picked this up. This would have worked brilliantly for BBC on children's BBC Monday to Friday, and they picked many a thing up like this, but bizarrely never did it. And Channel 4 ended up with it. It was a syndicated show. This particular release, now, if you know me and you've watched other videos on my channel, you'll know that I'm a bit of a stickler for UK releases. I always want mainly everything in my collection that's been released in the UK, but for some bizarre reason, not a single company has ever released this in the UK. I've a few Region 1 things. So like I said, this has come from the US. This is an import. A few other things that's in my collection that I've had to do a similar thing with. First one, if you look down below me other videos, you'll see it, is that He-Man collection. I did that for one particular reason. And if you look at that video, we go in depth why I chose a Region 1 release over the Region 2 stuff that have been put out. And one box set that I've not done yet, which is Bravestar. And again, you'll see why I chose the Region 1, the US releases of Bravestar over the stuff that we got released in the UK. But this one, has never had a UK release. So I had to go with an import to get hold of it. And the way I've got this one was through eBay. This was a brand newly release. This is a newish purchase. It's one of the newer additions to my collection, my library. This is a Mill Creek release. Mill Creek do some fantastic things, and for the price I get for this, I mean, initially they're selling it up for $15.99. Again, it was brand new, still in the cellophane. I put him into my basket and I sat on it for a few days, and then lo and behold, he knocked some money off and sent me a little discount on it, and he dropped it to $12.99 for me with free postage and packaging. So $12.99, I couldn't turn this down. But again, with being a Mill Creek release, I'm not 100% sure what this would have sold for in the States. But I find, like a few other things, like the Mill Creek stuff I've got with the Bravestar collections and Mill Creek collection, they always seem to be done on the cheap. Now, the transfer is very good, and there's nothing wrong with the picture quality of everything on this, but it's just the packaging on the Mill Creek stuff always seems really cheap. So if you can see that on there, my God, that's a terrible front cover. I mean, it is awful. I mean, it's as though they didn't have the rights to do anything, and they just had someone who had a brief idea of what the show was to draw them a front cover, because that is terrible. If you look closely on that, I mean, that is awful. But it is what it is, and the reverse isn't much better. It's a little bit better. It's not great. It's like a different artist done it. Don't know why, but that's definitely a different artist, and that's closer to the animation style that you're going to get in this cartoon, other than what that is. I mean, that is just shambolic. Again, this one, this I think it's a 5-disc set. Yeah, 5-disc set. Again, with this one as well, it came, because it's a new release, it had a digital release, a digital code with it, sorry, which is absolutely useless to me because it is on Movie Spree. And everything that Mill Creek do, I think, goes on to Movie Spree. Movie Spree isn't available in the UK. Now, I know we're running a VPN on the Fire Stick or on my computer or something like that. I could probably get Movie Spree, but God, it's just not worth it. So if any of my US friends are watching and you'd like the code for the complete collection of Jayce and the Wheel Warriors, so you can watch it over there in the States, if you've not already got it, give me a shout, drop us a comment down below, and I will send you a private message. The first come, first served on it. I'll send you a private message with the code. The code's sat here. Anyone can have it. I don't want nothing for it. You can have it. Yeah, so back to this again. One season, 65 episodes long, 22 minutes an episode. Real good storyline on this. Again, it was a crossover between people and machines and cars. I was always a lover of anything that had a vehicle related thing into these cartoons like this. For some reason, I just connected with them, like some Mask and Pole Position. I just loved it where there was sort of man and machine together kind of thing. Short story on this. If you know this series, then you'll know the story behind it. Jayce's dad comes up with a concept how he can stop world famine or sort of universal famine as it is in this, from planet to planet, and comes up with a concept of growing organic food that will grow big. But then there's a solar flare on the planet that he's working on this science and this concept on, and the solar flare the radiation in it mutates everything, and the plants that he's got turn into monsters. And the first monster that turns out of this is a monster called Sawboss, and Sawboss is the main bad guy in this. The sort of story breaks down into there's two factions in this. There's the good guys who are called the Lightning League, and then obviously the bad guys who are called the Monster Minds. Jayce, who's on the dodgily drawn on the front cover here, he leads the Lightning League, and Sawboss, who you can see up there, that character, he leads the Monster Minds. And again, the Monster Minds are transformed from like plant-based monsters into vehicles, which again I really liked. And then the Lightning League, they have vehicles of their own, which are manufactured by Gillian, which is this guy here. So we'll break it down. Jayce is the main protagonist in this. The whole show's sort of based around him and him trying to rescue his father, kind of thing. And then his father's called Audric, who's obviously the scientist where everything's gone wrong. Again, like we said, the wizard and the mechanic character in these, like I said, he's called Gillian. And then the young girl down here, who is half human, half plant, half flower, was made by Ulrich, Jayce's father, and her name is Flora. And then the little annoying character down here, which every cartoon like this has one, it's called Oon. Oon was Ulrich's sidekick kind of thing, and Ulrich sent Oon to help Jayce, to look after Jayce. And then we have this character here called Herc. Herc is just your straight up rip off Han Solo character. So he's like your Han Solo type, smuggler, do anything for money kind of character. He is an absolute Han Solo rip off. But it works quite well in this. And then all these characters come together, they've got their own vehicles, and Herc as the main ship where everything comes in. I'll show you the back of it. There is no special features on anything on this one. It's just the straight 65 episodes that's split over 5 discs. Bit of a shame with this series, really. It came to an abrupt end. Now I know 65 episodes sounds a lot, but there was no sort of end to this. There was no resolution. There was no final episode. There was no nothing. I think they really banked on a toy line with this to help drag it along, and Mattel did the toys for these, and they weren't very good, and they didn't sell well. And I think because of the time slots this was coming on, it wasn't as well known, especially in the UK. I don't know what it was like in the US. I don't know what the toy sales like in the US, but in the UK, this was few and far between that you came across this kind of stuff. Because the toy lines did so bad, they never considered pushing it into a second season. There was a film, there was a script written for a film, and that was juggled around for a while to put a finale on this, to give it an end. And that was canned, that was shelved, that nothing ever came of that. So, I mean, that'll be sat around somewhere, and nothing will ever happen to that, I don't think. Nothing will ever come of it. Which is a shame, because there is no finale to this. There is no sort of end story to it. It just doesn't finish. It just finishes abruptly, and it should have carried on, and it never did. Again, like I said, this release is a Region 1 release, so it's a US import. So again, you'll need a Region 3 player. If you're looking at this kind of stuff, please look for a Region 3 DVD player. Region 3 DVD players now, 20-25 quid. Region 3 Blu-ray players that'll play Region 3, obviously DVD and Blu-ray, probably around 70 to 80 pound. Definitely worth getting. But if you want to get into this stuff, and like I said, there's a lot of it that's only available in the US, definitely look into a Region 3 DVD player. Again, like I said before, it's a Mill Creek release, so it does look like it's been done on the cheap. One thing, if you know me, you'll know I'll hate the way this is put out, and it is DVD stacking. I think it is fair. It's five discs, all stacked on top of one another, just asking for problems. Now I know Mill Creek was probably never going to sell thousands and thousands and thousands of copies of this, and it would have been a niche market that it was going to sell to in the US. But even still, it wouldn't have cost them that much more to produce it on swing trays, like I've showed you previously, or even like some of the other stuff where they put it in Mill Creek. I've seen Mill Creek releases. I've got Mill Creek releases that are put into like little cardboard wallets, so that helps protect them inside. DVD stacking never helps because everything just rubs and scratches. Again, like I said, I love the show. I'm really glad that I've got this in my collection now. I've been looking at it a while, and the price was always quite high on the import side of things, and it was always on eBay for around £30, £25, and I never wanted to pull the trigger on it at that kind of money. And then just out of the blue, some guy must have had a few copies of this lying around that for some reason he had brand new, and as soon as I added it to my basket, he knocked a couple of quid off, which is a bonus. So £12.99 on eBay. If anyone is looking for this and they want to get it like I've got it, because obviously if you put it in your basket, you'll get the same thing with me. You'll drop it from £15.99 to £12.99. Let me know. I can send you a link, because this is the only way you're going to pick it up. And it's probably the cheapest way. I've seen other version releases of this that Mill Creek releases that just go for crazy money. I don't know why. But yeah, that's probably the best way to get your hands on Jayce and the Wheel Warriors. A really loved show of mine that just didn't get enough love back in the day, and I don't know why. It's a great show. So again, thank you for watching. It means a lot. If you've watched the previous video, you'll know that our subscriber numbers are going up, which is brilliant, because that means people actually liking the stuff that I'm doing. People obviously like the nostalgic kind of thing on this, and if I can help you by showing you some releases that I've got before you want to pull the trigger on it and spend the money, because this stuff isn't cheap. It's going up in price all the time. It's getting more and more expensive and harder to come by. And it seems to be recently eBay is the only place where I can get this kind of stuff. CEX is always a great thing, and CEX in the UK, you will always find stuff at reasonable prices in there, a lot cheaper than what eBay is. But CEX is even running out of this stuff now. If you go on CEX now, a lot of this stuff is constantly out of stock. So if you're looking to build yourself a library, now's the time while the price is still there. It's creeping a little bit, but this is the time to start doing it, for prices just go crazy. So again, thank you very much for watching. Please give us a like, please give us a subscribe, and I'll see you all in the next video. Thanks very much. I'll see you later. Bye bye.